So an overview of what I studied at art school was essentially a mix of film, fine art, and research and design. And mostly I spent my years doing a lot of fine art and filmmaking. And after that, I started working at an art studio where we were working in spaces, more community spaces. After which I moved on to working as a designer and a researcher at the Nokia Research Center. I'm now working as a service designer at Seren. Service design is an upcoming field in design, and it's a collaboration between designers and businesses to enable businesses to think in a more creative manner in the way they deliver their experiences to their customers or the way they design products and services. I think the most valuable thing I learned from my arts education was to be able to look at things from a different perspective, to be able to develop a unique point of view. And that essentially has been something that I've applied throughout my career and my work. And I think that allows, basically challenges you to think in different ways. It challenges you to look at a problem or an issue or a need from different perspectives. For example, businesses are now realizing that because of competition, because of the fast-paced growth, they need to be able to do something different from their competitors, do something different in the market that draws people to them. And thinking in the same way as they have been in the past is not allowing them to do that. People have emotional reactions. Experiences are not objects. They're more emotional and based on feelings. And being able to think from a creative perspective is also being able to think from a more human-centric perspective. And that allows you to come up with ideas that are potentially groundbreaking, new, different, and innovative. What an arts education allows you to do is to be empathetic, which also leads to creating beautiful products and services, because only if you empathize with the person who has a problem will you be able to create a solution that is relevant. There's a common notion that arts education does not address any need, which is why it doesn't have any value. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. I think what an arts education does is, or what creative thinking does, it allows you to be innovative. Now currently, if you look at the way innovation processes are run, or the way in the field of digital, in technology, sciences, it's all very iterative and very creative. If somebody is educated to think in a certain way, then they will never be innovative because they will only think in a certain way. So for example, I may have the ability and expertise of using tools that allow me to make beautiful chairs. I know how to make the legs, I know how to cut my wood, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean I'm capable of making the chair that Charles Eames made, or the egg chair. It's that kind of innovation, that kind of idea, that kind of out-of-the-box thinking and different way of seeing things that leads to innovation, that leads to having that chair that people experience in a different way, that they probably wouldn't experience in an equally well-made chair. And the moment you get into an arts college, they almost unwrap your mind and allow you to be really open. The fundamental belief that there's no right and wrong, and that life is grey, and ideas and problems and solutions are grey, is essential to an arts education. Because unlike a lot of vocational subjects, you can't think of things as black and white, because that's not how anything works, that's not how human beings work, and that's not how they interact with anything that's created. The other thing that's quite important is to be able to work collaboratively with different kinds of people. So as a creative person, and in art school we did that, one of the fundamental things that we were taught was to be able to work in teams, to be able to work with people from different professional backgrounds. So I spend a lot of my time working with people from management background, marketing background, business developers, technologists. And because I've had that background and I've had that experience before, I'm able to do that with a lot of ease, because I'm able to, again, put myself in different positions and understand different points of views. Coming from an arts education and being able to add value in a business and making a space in a space that essentially works with businesses is a big risk, because you are constantly challenged in the way you think, because you're always trying to show them a different point of view. And that's a huge risk. But because what an arts education does, it already challenges you and prepares you for that. I think that's never really something that you tend to be afraid of or intimidated by. I don't think I've had any hindrance in my career, but I think the big challenge that I face on an everyday basis is that the clients that we work with, or the businesses that we work with, are not that aware of how creative practice and creative thinking can help them, and how that can help them provide different experiences to their customers, how that can make them unique. And I think that is a challenge because we'll end up educating the people that we work with on a daily basis through every key stage of the process that we go through. I think I will always think of myself as an artist because I don't think I stopped at any point. I think being creative, thinking artistically is such an important part of the way I live, and the kind of work that I do is so integral to my everyday life that I don't think I'll ever stop being an artist. I apply myself creatively very differently now than perhaps I did earlier, or it's evolved in many ways, but I still spend a lot of time doing the work that I like doing, being involved in the arts very closely, and I can't let that go because I think that's what fuels creativity for me. It's what makes me more creative on a day-to-day basis. So I think I'll always continue to be an artist and have a close association with the arts.